Alright team, as you can see, our forecast from last quarter was way off, and that's unacceptable, because this dictates the production that we need each quarter, and since next quarter is our busiest quarter of all, it's the most important that we get that forecast correct. I want you to split up into two teams using exponential smoothing to get the next forecast, and when you guys figure this out, we'll come back and meet together and go over what we've come up with. Alright, go ahead.
All right, Dan, our forecast last quarter wasn't so good, man. We got to figure something out here. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I know our jobs are on the line here. I think our main problem was we forecasted last quarter with moving average, and since we didn't have enough historical data, that's probably where we went wrong. So I think we need to use exponential smoothing method.
That sounds good to me. Do you think we should incorporate the trend with that, or?
No, I mean the data here doesn't really look like there's much trend, so I think we'll be fine if we just go forward with exponential smoothing forecasting.
Right, and like you said, we don't have a whole lot of historical data, so there's probably not much of a trend anyway, so we should be all right.
Yeah, that should be a good point to look off. So we'll start.
So let's pull up the data here and start taking a look at it.
All right, Zach, how do you think we should forecast for next quarter better?
Well, this quarter usually has some obvious trends, so I think we should use exponential smoothing and incorporate a trend and use a beta of 0.3.
That's a great idea. A problem with our last forecast is that we used a moving average, and that doesn't forecast trend well. Additionally, forecasting exponential smoothing without trend lags behind, so it's important that we have current data to get the most accurate projection.
Well, although we don't have much historical data, given the seasonality of our product, I think we should definitely try and incorporate a few different betas to get a more accurate prediction.
All right, sounds good. Let's get to work.
Alright teams, now's your time to explain what you did and why you did it, and we'll go over who did the best part. Alright.
Okay, so in order to get a more accurate forecast for this quarter, we wanted to look back on the previous quarter and figure out what went wrong. So we noticed that using a moving average forecast technique that we estimated that demand would be 740 for last quarter. It actually came out to be 751, which is 11 off, and that's too much, so we wanted to figure out what exactly went wrong. So what we did is we decided to use an exponential smoothing forecast and punch in last quarter's numbers, and we got a forecasted demand of 750, which is a whole lot closer to 751 than 740. So after that, we decided that an exponential smoothing forecasting technique would be better for quarter two to forecast this year's demand.
So in forecasting the second quarter, we used quarter one's forecast that we redid and the given demand from quarter one. Plugged it into our exponential smoothing function and got a forecasted demand of 750.2. Now as we worked through this a little bit, we changed our alpha values and found that as we increased alpha, the variability of our forecast was all over the place. So we decided to stay with a 0.2 alpha to make our exponential smoothing predictions more accurate and smooth in the long run.
Very similarly to our colleagues, we use the exponential smoothing method, but we incorporated trend. The first thing we did, we solved for F, which is the base forecast from period T from the simple model, and we got 745.
We then solved for the forecast of the trend component demand for period T and got 10.4. That ultimately got us 755.4.
Welcome to the end of quarter meeting. The forecasts are in, and you guys are both wrong. You're both wrong because you can never be right when you're forecasting. But Mike and Zach, you were closer with your forecast because you used trend with exponential smoothing. Jason and Dan, as you can see, you guys were close, but not close enough. And because of that, we're going to have to let you go. I'm sorry. Mike and Zach, great job. You guys are going to get promoted, and we're going to have a good celebration after this.
Closing time.